I've been working on it for a very long time. It's kind of taken different shapes over the years, and then the last 2 years, I kind of figured out exactly what I wanted it to be, and I dialed it down into 7 essays. It's a war memoir because that is like the central theme, but only two of them actually, start and finish in Afghanistan. The others are, other stories from my life, and then I weave in little small stories about Afghanistan throughout. Originally, I had written an entire like full-length memoir that I'd been working on for years, but I decided like there's already 1,000 of those, and most people's combat memoirs are probably going to be better than mine because there's more combat or more compelling stuff, at least to me. And so I was like, well, what I really want to say will hit harder if I can kind of distill it down from this bloated form into these, what I think are like sharp essays that really just get right to the point. So the book is less than 200 pages. And I think for being so small, I think it packs a pretty heavy punch. And I think if it had been a larger memoir of just, then I went to boot camp and this is what happened at boot camp. And then I got to my unit and this is what we did in training. And then we went to Afghanistan and this is what combat is like. And then it would just be like, there'd be some good stuff in it, but then there'd be some filler stuff in it that some people would probably really enjoy, but it wasn't for me. And I didn't want to ask other people to read that.
Awesome. And as far as like Afghanistan, what's like the theme of these types of stories or like these types of essays that cover Afghanistan?
I wish I could give you a nice, like, cleaned up answer for this. It's not like a rah-rah, like, look at all the cool tech and stuff that, it's not like no one raids bin Laden in my book. There's nothing that wild in it. But it's also not an anti-war book, which I think there are a lot of, where it's just, oh, the war, made me feel sad and I'll never get over it. It's not one of those either. It's just important stories. I think part of me really wanted people to understand what the war was like at that time, especially where I was and for people who had my job, because there's plenty of memoirs out there about special operations, and there should be, because what they do is incredible and it's so unique. And especially during the GWOT, special operations played a larger role than they've ever played in another one of America's wars. But there were not that many books out there about what the grunt experience was like. And the point I wanted to make was that most of the killing and most of the dying and most of the work was shouldered by the infantry. So I wanted to make that point, but again, I didn't want to just have a memoir of, these are what 5 years in the infantry is like, because even me, who lived it and loved it and is passionate about, the infantry experience, like there were times when I would be bored by that. And I was like, if I'm bored by it and I lived it, then I can't very well ask a reader to grind through this. So yeah, part of it was conveying that infantry experience because I think it was overlooked too often. And the other part is that the GWOT was so long and had so many different faces to it that the little window I experienced, Helmand Province in 2011, kind of also got overlooked, right? Like, I think a lot of people still picture the Humvees in the cities, and that's Afghanistan and Iraq is all rolled up into one image of that. Or they picture, Navy SEALs kicking down bin Laden's door. Like, the war had so many other faces to it, and I just wanted other people to see what that time and place was like, I guess.